Hey everybody, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about the reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise starring Alicia Vikander. Lara Croft, the fiercely independent daughter of a missing adventurer, must push herself beyond her limits when she finds herself on the island where her father disappeared. So, haven't I seen this movie already? And no, I don't mean the Angelina Jolie movies based on the character. By the way, for those wondering, while the first two movies are based on the early games of the series, this new version is based on the latest iteration of the game. In the first two, Lara Croft was more of the buxom, ass-kicking, almost superhero version of Lara. This new one is more grounded in reality, I guess. The character isn't as superhuman. Okay, back to what I was referring to. I just have to get this out of the way. Tomb Raider stole so much from the Indiana Jones movies that it isn't even funny. There were scenes that will remind you of 3 of the 4 movies. Sorry, Crystal Skull, even this movie knew better than to steal from you. Lara has to use her father's notes that he left her to track down what he was looking for, and of course it leads to a moment similar to this.
I will take the book now.
What book?
You have the diary in your pocket.
You don't. Do you think my son would be that stupid that he would bring my diary all the way back here? You didn't, did you? You didn't bring it, did you? Well, you did.
Lara has to stop an organization called Trinity that is searching for the world's mystical items. Sounds a bit like the Nazis, doesn't it? The movie's villain Vogel, played by Walton Goggins, is pretty much Belloc from Raiders of the Lost Ark. A little more psycho maybe, but still very similar. Maybe. The bad guys use slave labor that Lara ends up trying to free, similar to Temple of Doom. I'd say she even has her own grown-up short round, but that character was Chinese and Lu Ren is Japanese. When it came to the final act, let's just say that I'm surprised that Lara didn't have to know what only the penitent man will pass meant, that Jehovah started with an I, figuring out that a leap from the lion's head means you have to jump off a cliff, and lastly, of course, have to choose wisely. So, with that out of the way, was Tomb Raider at least a good adaptation of the video game? Look, other than the first 2, I haven't really played any other Tomb Raider games. From what I can see, it looks a lot like what I've seen of the latest game, so I'd have to say at least aesthetically it hit the mark. When it comes to the action, I'd say about the same thing. I've watched a couple of Let's Plays of the game, and it seems like they have a similar feel to it. Now, let's talk about the movie's characters. First, there's Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft. While I give her credit for being able to pull off the physical side of the character, for the rest of it, I just wasn't that impressed. There is a word that I'm going to attach to pretty much every character in the movie, so I don't have to say it multiple times. That word, generic. She and every other person in this movie feels like a generic character just filling a certain role. Walton Goggins, who I love as an actor, really had nothing new to add as the villain in this movie. Dominic West, who I also really like, made me wish I was watching Henry Jones Sr. instead. Every character, whether they were important to the plot or not, felt like this. The last thing I'll say about Alicia Vikander's performance is this. You know that silly moaning grunt thing that you hear in the trailer? Yeah, that one. Get ready to hear it in this movie. A lot. And I mean a lot. Anytime there is any physical exertion, she is moaning, grunting, or screaming. And it gets tiring. The last couple of things I have to say about this movie are a bit spoilery, so you've been warned. First, there is a ridiculous sequel-baiting Kaiser Soze-style villain reveal at the end that is both obvious as it is unearned. Second, the trailer shows you the end of the freaking movie. Hollywood, that crap has to stop. Now, while I do think this was a noble attempt to capture the look and feel of the new video game, I don't think it really offered that much more. The action is fine, but the characters and plot are all borrowed from way better movies. I feel that Tomb Raider missed the mark. As always, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of this new Tomb Raider? Did you like it better than the first 2 movies, or were you wishing for Angelina Jolie to come back? Feel free to comment on down in the section below. Till next time, I'm Gino Reynolds from The Real Gino.